How's it going, guys? What you see in front of you is a beautiful Konica 3 rangefinder film camera. Okay. Um, what I want to do in this video is to decouple the EV locking mechanism, which is attached to this camera. It's quite annoying, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And all the Konica 3, or most of the Konica 3s, and all of the Konica 3As comes with a EV coupling lock. It's very, very annoying, okay? So the lock on the Konica 3A, I'm gonna show you guys really quickly, is slightly different because it uses a newer Sekosha shutter, okay? So the EV lock is a one with the range of like number 2 to number 18 right here. Okay, so when it's not locked, when you turn this, it actually turns both the shutter speed and the aperture. Now when it's decoupled, it doesn't matter where you put this EV value, it doesn't turn the shutter speed, which is what you want. Okay, so over here, if I turn the shutter speed on the 3, okay, which is right here, you can see it turns the aperture. That's not what I want. I want the shutter to turn, and I want to manually set my apertures, which is indicated over here from f2 to f22. All right. So I absolutely love those Konica 3 and 3A cameras, and I have extensive videos of how to service those. So in this video, I only want to decouple the aperture, the EV locking on the Konica 3 with this Sekosha shutter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing it on the camera. So if you are interested in doing it on your own camera, you would have a better idea on how to access the shutter mechanism or the aperture mechanism, okay? In order to do this on the 3 and the 3A, you have to remove this entire lens shutter assembly of the camera. Now, I don't have any films in this camera, so feel free to do that. And in order to do that, of course, the first thing you're gonna do is actually open up the chamber, okay? It's going to expose that to pinching area where you need to actually put some tools over there to actually get it unlocked. So now I'm gonna grab those tools and I'm gonna do that. The tool I'm using is this camera lens, or just camera and lens service assembly. What I wanted to do is have those two notches aligned with the actual, let me see. So once you adjust the angle or the distance, you are going to lock it when it can grab those two notches on the back of the camera, like that, okay? And then I could turn it counterclockwise. Let me see if it's grabbed just for sure. And once it turns counterclockwise, you will have to find another thing to actually just turn it all the way so the lens could pop out. I can't remember if there's a screw here to lock it. Maybe there isn't on the Konica 3, but on the 3A there is. So you just have to be mindful of that. All right, let's see if I can lower the angle a little bit. And again, doesn't matter what you use, as long as you can turn that thing, you could get it out. Okay. All right, so lens popped out. And this is where we can visualize and see. Again, this is not a complete disassembly, so if you need that, check out my other videos. This one is just to quickly disengage the EV locking mechanism, which on this particular model of the 3 is just that little metal tab that is grabbing the edge of the EV values over here, okay? So once we have that tab removed, we could file that down and completely remove it because it is kind of pinned in there, so you can't like unscrew it, you just have to file it down. That's what we're gonna do, and I believe I could unlock this little tiny screw and have this mechanism disengage really quickly. That's what I'm going to do. It's really helpful if you have a high quality screw set for servicing all the vintage Japanese cameras, or even German cameras for that matter. This is my favorite screwdriver tool. Find a flathead, which is probably going to be the 0.9 millimeter, and then try to unscrew that little tiny aperture screw lock right here. Okay, so hopefully this one can make it loose. And it does. Look at that. So do not lose this, okay? It's super tiny, super tiny. All right, don't lose it. And you should be able to slide this out and visualize the nemesis of every Konica 3 and 3A is this little notch. What we're gonna do is just find a, use whatever you have, file this down, remove it completely, and it will not couple the EV to the aperture. So I would just file it down, and I'm gonna show you guys after I file this down to as flat as I can, and show you guys that it's going to decouple that EV and shutter. EV is linked to the aperture and shutter. We decouple that, it shouldn't turn with the shutter speed. All right, guys, so I am back just to show you guys that this little tiny thing, see if I can zoom in a little bit, that it is almost flat now. Before, it's protruding and it's locking the EV mechanism. Now it's not going to lock on the rim over here. Okay, that's what we want to do. Now, find your super tiny screw, which was right here. Okay. First, put the mechanism back on there. It's going to be really challenging because it's really tiny screw over there. All right. So once it's in place, you are going to try to use a tweezer to put that screw on there, because otherwise it's pretty much impossible. Okay, so right here, drop it in there, and then use your super tiny screwdriver to try to lock it in place. And highly suggest the Vessel Japanese-made screwdriver. Okay, this thing is like godsend for those kind of precision work. And you have successfully decoupled the EV lock. So when it's not decoupled, when you turn this, okay, it actually turns the aperture ring. Okay, you can see the aperture ring right here. All right, so it's locked with the shutter speed, and now it is not. And the next step you have to do is putting everything back, which shouldn't be hard, right? So if you don't need to service the shutter and aperture in this camera, it's very easy to decouple the EV ring right here for the Konica 3. And again, 3A is slightly different because the coupling mechanism is different, but all of those are very easy to do. Now we just need to make sure that everything is still in place. Just do a general inspection. Lens looks nice and clean, no oil drips, all good. So this thing gets triggered by the little knob over there. You need to make sure that this tab goes into that knob, and when you put it in there, that tab doesn't pinch. There is a exposure area. That tab doesn't pinch this, which is the shutter cocking mechanism. Okay, so I'm just going to try to align the best I can. Again, this is not a comprehensive video, so if you need the full comprehensive video, make sure you check that one out. Your indicator to align is the flash sync. There is going to be a groove over here for flash sync. You drop it in there, everything should sit in place, okay? All right, so, and again, we just need to make sure nothing is pinching, and also that little tab is sitting behind this shutter caulking mechanism, which everything checks out, everything is in order. We're gonna rotate back here and try to screw in the that little groove by now turning it clockwise to lock everything in place. Yep. So now you can see they are attached, and I just need to further tighten everything to make sure it actually locks in place. Okay. Again, this is adjustable, but it's better to do it when you can actually nicely lock the thing. That should lock the lens in place. The last thing you need to check is, again, double check, make sure that the shutter caulking mechanism is working properly. I'm going to double stroke, click. Looks like it's working. This is 100th of a second. Let's test half a second. Works beautifully. Also notice the, I'm going to put it on B. All right, so that's the aperture. And now you turn the aperture and change the shutter speed. Okay. Oh, I can't because right now the shutter is open. The aperture does not move. Okay, right there. Aperture is the top one, and the EV useless EV scale is the bottom. So you have successfully disengaged the EV locking mechanism on the Konica III with the Sekosha MXL shutter. I think the Koni Rapid doesn't have the EV lock, so you're good to go there. But every other shutter that's a later model of the Konica III has this EV locking, and it's actually very, very easy to disengage. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, check out my other videos related to Konica 3 and 3A. I absolutely love this rangefinder camera, and I personally think this is a much, much, much better value than Leica, and it's also built even to a higher standards than Leica's build quality. The lens, super, super sharp. Can't complain about this lens. This lens is one of the sharpest lens I have ever used in all the cameras that I have owned in the past. They have the both SAM lenses, Konica 3 and 3A, which is this Hexanon 48 f1.2. Again, my absolute favorite lens to use of all time. So there you have it. Like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy shooting!